Hey there, Calling Up community. I'm Claudia Alick, and today we're going to reflect on gender pronouns. In today's webinar, someone brought up the very useful question around gender pronouns, and it reminded us that we actually hadn't made any resources for further online engagement on the subject. This will be a place setter and will be way less scripted and will have less resources attached to it, so we'll be making a new one. But in the meantime, the gender pronoun conversation. So most of us were raised having language to only talk about two genders. And we live in a world where there are multiple genders, which means we've been misgendering people our entire lives. Also, most of our social structures don't actually allow room and space for us to acknowledge that there are multiple genders and find out what they are so that we're not misgendering people and harming people. So how do we increase performances of justice and decrease the performance of injustice that is misgendering people? Well, one easy way is to create space at the top of a meeting for people to identify as they want to, as they feel fit. There's also the option of name tags. There's also the option of including your gender pronouns in your email signature, and that being a stylistic choice that is done across your organization. You can also put your gender pronouns in your descriptions, in your bios, and you can, again, make that a choice for your entire company that gender pronouns are included in your bios. Why? Because this disrupts the implicit script that assumes there are only two, and also assumes and presumes that you will be able to identify people by their physical appearance. We like to make sure that people can self-identify. Now, so we've talked about why we do the pronoun check-in, and I'll be frank, I dream of a world someday in the future where we no longer have gender injustice and we are no longer misgendering people, and we don't need to have a special moment, or perhaps we just always use a gender-neutral pronoun, usually, and that's the default. In the meantime, however, it's important to be explicit and intentional and to make space for this. The question that was asked was, should I use the words preferred? And I said no. I'm never asking someone for their preferred pronoun. Obviously, it's your preferred pronoun. It's your pronoun. Of course, you would prefer to be referred to accurately. My name is not usually referred to as my preferred name. I would prefer that you call me Claudia Alick and not some other name that is not my name. I would prefer that you use the correct pronoun. It's an extra word that is unnecessary. So my suggestion is when you have people introduce themselves, you encourage them to share as they feel comfortable their pronouns, and then you just go around and don't add the extra word, their preferred pronouns. I also recommend this for all of your written text. The other great thing that you can do, and I encourage you to do, is have a diversity in the humans that you are working with and a diversity in the people who are helping you craft your systems. So if you've put some language in a form that is trying to assess people's gender pronouns so that you do not misgender them when you are working together, maybe run that language by somebody who identifies as non-binary, and they can let you know if they are comfortable with the language. But as always, our communities are not homogeneous, and language is always evolving, and you should always use the preferred terminology of the humans that you are collaborating with.